Hi, my name is Tom Whittle. I partnered with Diversified in 2012 and I manage all the field operations. So when Diversified started, it was just a sauna log company. It was Dale Lewis and Rod Price, and they did fluid shots. They did that for a few years, and then I got bought in 2012, and we went. I brought along the idea that we could be doing some tubing inspections, rig floor tubing inspections. Did some research, found out what I would need, and we went and bought a tool and started doing that. Became busier and busier, and we bought a second unit. And then hired another person, and then bought a third unit. And then Tundra actually came to us and wanted to know if we could do this in a yard. So we did some trials and figured out that we could lay our tubing inspection tool on its side and slide the joints through by hand. It was very laborious, and we did it for one season, and then we went to a conveyor system. And then Tundra again came to us and wanted to know if there was a way we could clean joints before we inspected them, mainly to get the wax and some of the joints that we're doing cement jobs, get that concrete out of them. So we developed a system over about 4 years, and we ended up with a high pressure wash system that washes both the inside and the outside of the tubular in one pass. And then we just made adjustments as time went on. We were going through far too much water. I developed a system that recirculates all the water, and we use that water for about 1 year before we need to shut down, clean out the tanks, and put fresh water in. The pipe roll in, and the pipe rotates. A lot of the systems that I've looked at, where you have your cleaning heads that rotate, but we developed a system where the pipe rotates and the cleaning heads stay stationary. And it works very well. It'll cut concrete right out of a joint and clean the joints before we run them over to inspection. We used our lay down tool for quite a few years in that, and now we've gone to an artist system that the shoes ride right on the pipe just to get a better inspection, because now the tubulars are clean, we're able to do that. We started branching out to other stuff. We started doing some confined space. We started doing some air trailers. Turnarounds is a big one for us. We were busy for a good portion of the summer. And this last couple of years, we have really focused on being a one-call shop for our turnarounds, where you can just call us and we show up with everything. Back trucks, water trucks, tank trucks, confined space, breathing air, right down to inspecting the coatings, repairing the coatings. Basically a one-stop shop. You can call us and we'll show up with everything. We use a tool called a gamma jet that's basically a high pressure sprinkler inside the tank, and it allows us to clean the tank without entering it, and it's a much safer way to do it, and it's the way we continue to do it this day. After we clean that tank with the high pressure sprinkler, we will go in and wipe down the really hard to reach areas, like an area that might be behind a pipe or blocked or something like that. So it's just a little touch up with hand cleaning after that, but the vessel's much safer to enter after you've cleaned that. Then we'll send another crew in and they will inspect it. We use a wet sponge with a slight current, and we just go over everything, and when it finds a path to ground, it'll beep, and we know we've got an anomaly there that needs to be repaired. Then we will go in and we will repair those spots, and then we'll go back in and re-inspect them later at a later date, to usually the next day after our coating has hardened. And then we'll put the tank back into use. We also do a lot of glycol systems. glycol frost protection. It's better than using it as a thaw. We go out and we'll wrap the stuff so that it never gets frozen. So we don't have to, nobody ever has to go out and thaw something. It just stays thawed the whole time. Bit of a time saver. It works pretty good. We also did aero engines fairly early on in the days. There were those single cylinder engines that either ran on casing gas or propane to run the pump jacks. And there seemed to be a need to have someone rebuild them and repair them out in the field. So we got on with that. We became a distributor for aero engine parts, and I sent a couple guys to school, and they learned how to repair these engines. That has tapered off in the past few years just because there's not as much outfield drilling. It's more infield drilling, but we still do that. We still do the aero engine repairs. I went to Texas to take my NDT, and we do mag particle, liquid penetrant. We also do coatings repairs. We do coatings inspection. We have 3 CIP level 2s. We also do drill stem inspections, where we go out to a rig and we'll inspect the drill stem, and we inspect it while the rig is still running. Some companies will have to have the rig shut down, but we actually inspect it on the fly. We also do some sandblasting. In the oil field, there's fire tubes that need to be sandblasted, and then if there's a coatings job that requires a lot of coating, you may go in and sandblast that area for them to put a new coating on. A lot of the sandblasting in the oil field is done with a coal slag, and it's a very aggressive type of sandblasting, but it works well in the oil patch, especially for the fire tubes. And then we will have the fire tubes inspected, and in a lot of cases we put a coating on the fire tube before we reinstall it as well. It's kind of a seal coating that stops anything sticking to the fire tube and building up a residue so that it doesn't transfer heat as good.